Hi there, we begin our watercolor by learning the basic techniques for background washes. The first, as you can see, is a flat wash. We first put a layer of thin water wash all over the watercolor paper. Keep the wash shiny and not dripping. After you finish the first layer with water, start by applying a very watery layer of color while the lower layer is wet. Keep going over it with the brush till you get a smooth, flat wash. As you can see, there is a puddle on the top left. I am taking a plain dry brush or a tissue and blotting out the extra water and then smoothing it out again with a flat brush. A flat brush is ideal to do this kind of a wash. In the next technique, we again go over with a layer of water on the paper. This is basically called the gradient wash, and we'll try to achieve the dark to light effect in this particular technique. We start by filling in the color on the top and moving towards the center of the square. We keep applying colors in layer so we get the darkest tone on top, and as you move towards the lower part, we dilute it with water so as to spread it to a lighter tone. Make sure the layers are wet so as to make the blending easy. You can apply more and more layers to get the desired dark and light effect. When you come towards the lighter tones, use water to spread the color to the lightest tone. Next is the wet on wet technique. We apply a wet layer of color, keeping it enough so that it does not dry when we put the second layer. The second layer is also almost as wet as the lower layer, and we let it blot and blend with the lower layer. As you can see, the color spreads by its own and forms a beautiful texture. The wet on dry technique is the most used technique. Generally, we keep the paper dry and then blend wet paint all over it. In this technique, we're going to apply the first color and apply a drier color on top. So, dry on wet. So, while the layer is wet below, we're going to use a very dry brush loaded with paint which is not diluted with water, and go over it. As you can see, it does not blot. Dual color wash basically means using two colors and creating a blend. So here I am applying a golden yellow and I'm going to blend it with a sap green. Keep the colors a little wet so they blend easily. Use water to blend the two colors in between and go over them so they form a smooth blend and not become patchy. Please do try all of these techniques so you know how to do the background wash.